it's your boy, Paul Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? This your first time tuning in. Go ahead. Hit doggone subscribe button. Hit notification bell. Every time I post up new content. I ain't even gonna look, y'all already know, but once I actually really thought about it, and fuck it, I'm still gonna advertise it. But the reason cause I thought about it and I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe the lovely people at Four Loco, they may not like how I'm sponsoring their product. But then again, I actually really thought about it again. So I was like, you know what? This is like this could be like an ultimate platform of this product here because they always say, hey, look, you get drunk, whatever, your ass start telling the truth. Now, great the fact, well, for as long as I can remember, even on my previous channel, I always drank something uh, while I was doing the while I was doing the show or whatever. But whatever the fuck, hey, listen. So hey, so here's the deal, people. We got a lot. Well, yeah, a lot to talk about. We put it like this. We gonna talk about two motherfuckers, and then we gonna talk about one person, and then we gonna call it a motherfucking day. So in our case, I'm a little late with this one. I mean, I saw it, but then I was like, okay, who the fuck? Who the fuck is Jasmine? I need a cop Crocket. And the only reason why I put I need a cock in parentheses because this is all what the fuck is wrong with this woman. She needs some dick. I mean, it was almost like, okay, before you come in, you was giving up the booty, 90 to nothing, probably. Now that your ass is in, right? And consider that everybody that ran through your motherfucking ass, right? They was like, oh, bitch, you old news. So now you raise hell, hoping that somebody actually really gonna bend your ass over a table. Just know this shit ain't gonna happen. Now I already know motherfucker be like, ooh, you can't say that. I can say what the fuck I want. Freedom of speech, goddammit. And then if the bitch take me to court, what the fuck she gonna get? Right? What the fuck she gonna get? She ain't finna get shit out of me. Right? And then the thing about though is this, and this ain't no motherfucking like no reverse psychology, anything like that. I mean, because for the most part, I already know what's good. What's good, big bro? You know my birthday was yesterday, right? But I ain't gonna hold you to that. So, but if you could come over on Saturday, I sure appreciate you. But but this whole Jasmine Crocket woman, right? Like what I said, everybody that read play this. You're just like Kamala Harris, right? It's just for the simple fact that you probably just got read through on a, as far as like on a state scale, right? And just considering that Texas is probably like what the hey come through around about 12, considering what the weather looks like. So but you know, like with her, right? You gotta be like, okay, she got fucked on like it's on a state scale, right? Where that Kamala Harris, right? California, I do believe, is bigger than Texas, right? So she got ran through not only by celebrities, but the Congress folk too. So both of y'all pussy wore out. And then it's just for you, Jasmine Crocket. You know, okay, Kamala got an excuse. She's 60. You look like you probably like in your late 20s, early 30s. Your pussy gone already. And you just running off at the mouth for apparently no fucking reason. You gonna talk about somebody, you gonna talk about the governor of the state that you run from, that you representing. You gonna talk about, oh, he in a wheelchair. So I don't know, maybe you wanted to fuck Governor Abbott too, knowing that that man paralyzed from the waist down. And just to know, and you know, and I truly honestly believe if he wasn't paralyzed, he wasn't finna fuck your ignorant ass. You know, so I was like, and then you get on there, and then I saw the shit where the one motherfucker told you, like, you just, blah, 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 blah. Hey, did you like this? And you kept going. Because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Right? You know, put like this. I really thought, I mean, I really don't know how long you've been in Congress, but after you saw the debacle of Kamala Harris, right? Or as I call, come all over her face, Harris, right? I was like, damn, you didn't learn from that bitch? I was like, so what? You coffee, they didn't, you coffee, but they didn't put, you only caught some of the cream. Whether that Kamala might have caught all that shit. So this is what the fuck it is. I mean, say something, you know, but enough of that bitch. We finna talk about Marvin Sapp. Apparently he old jackleg preacher. Just like all the rest of the jackleg preachers. This is how about why this motherfucker go why this motherfucker go hold people hostage? I'm just like, motherfucker, I done gave you some money. But then again, I'm looking at, you know, I'm trying to figure this shit out, right? You know, and I'm just like, you know what? I always this is the sixth, you know, I always go back to what Acts 17:24 said. Yahweh who made the heavens and the earth does not dwell in temples made by man's hands, nor is he worshipped by man's hands. So the $64,000 question for Marvin Sapp, Geno Jennings, which I cannot stand that motherfucker right today, right? Who that other? TD Snakes. Oh my bad, TD Jakes. That Jeff, that Joe Goldstein or whatever the fucking name is. All of the big preachers, the so-called big preachers. Preachers is making the big money. Well, all of them are making big money. But I'm just talking about these motherfuckers that you actually really see every Sunday or whatever. And so I'm just like, How you gonna hold somebody hostage, right? You gonna, but that kind of reminds me of a situation. I'm back in Texas. I mean, great fact. I can't. Well, yeah, I know that I was either retired or I was about to retire. But anyway, me and the ex, right? We go up to Dallas, Texas, see the boy, right? So he want to take us to church, knowing that I don't do the church thing, but my son asks, and then the wife looking at me crazy, right? So I'm just like, okay, I'll go, right? But anyway, so I get in there. We sit down. The sermon went about shit. I could have gave a better sermon than what that Jack leg fucker did. But the thing that really got me, now, great the fact that this pastor, he didn't lock no damn doors. But the motherfucker lied. And he pretty much did the exact same thing what Marvin Sapp did. Because he gonna claim that somebody broke into the church, took some PlayStation, took the PlayStation, two of the PlayStation systems, and some games. Then they went, now dig this now. They went in the office, opened up the safe. They either opened up the safe or they had access to the church's bank account, right? And so they going on cruises and shit, buying all clothes and stuff. And so now they was wanting the congregation to replace that money. And then the motherfucker said, I know we got $1,000 donors in here. We got $100 donors in here, 50, so on and so forth. Now he didn't lock the damn door, but he was asking for that money back. So, but I'm looking at this, and I'm just saying, you know what? Ain't nobody stole no goddamn PlayStation. Ain't nobody had no access to the motherfucking bank account. You took them goddamn PlayStations out of there. Then you carried you and your wife went on the motherfucking cruise off of the church's money. But you want to make it seem like that, okay, somebody broke into church. Okay. So let's know this. If a man builds a so-called church, don't carry your ass in there. Because I look at the church as the ultimate crack house. And the Bible, especially when you don't know how to read it, is the goddamn crack pipe. And in order for you to continue to be high, guess what you got to do every Sunday? You pay your motherfucking tithes. Now, if that ain't the ultimate crack house, I don't know what the fuck is. Last order of business. And then I'm going to get out of here. Apparently, Phylicia Rashad was on the doggone Breakfast Club a few days ago. And for those y'all, y'all know who the fuck Phylicia Rashad is. That's Claire Huxtable from the Cosby Show. And so the question was asked is, well, what do you feel about how do you feel about how the women dress today versus when I mean, I don't know how the question went, but I'm just looking at the fact, okay, how she dressed when she was a teenager versus how motherfuckers dress now as a teenager. And so just know that I'm somewhere in the middle, right? And then so just know, motherfuckers, I'm still in my goddamn day. But let's just say when, let's just say my junior high and yeah, junior high and high school years, uh, the girls they actually really dressed like how they were supposed to dress because they already knew that mom and dad was in the house. So I mean, I get all this what the statistics say, but all what I'm saying is, mom and dad were in the house during the years that I actually really went to school, right? And you can actually really tell by the way they dress. And I've always believed that from 1973, which just so happens that was the year that I was born in. From 1973, going backwards, yeah, you turned out pretty good because not only did mom and dad beat your ass, whoever's in the neighborhood beat your ass, then they told your parents that they beat your ass, and guess what? You caught another ass whooping, right? Now, great the fact that wasn't the case with me, right? But the whole goddamn neighborhood watched after me. But then again, if you actually really stop and think about it for a minute, the whole goddamn neighborhood is watching after these motherfuckers now. But it's on a different aspect. It's on a different point of view. Meaning that, okay, back in my day, when I was a little bitty, everybody watched you because that was the right thing to do. They didn't want you to get in trouble. Versus today, depending on where the fuck you at, oh yeah, they watching you, but it ain't for the right motherfucking thing. The kid, put like this, the parents now, and then we could actually like, so from 73 going backwards, you good. From 83 going backwards, I can actually really say, okay, that's when shit started falling out. Now, from so let's just say from 83 going forward, hey, that's like goddamn needle in a haystack for the most part. And then you put like this, anybody that was born in the 90s, there's no ain't no motherfucker here for y'all. Because it was because by this time, right? Too much booty shaking going on. And then if you was an 80s baby, put like this, it say like if you was a late 78, 79 baby. Well, again, the cracks are there. So say like if you was born in 75, going into the early 90s, you what, roughly 15, 16 years old. So that's because the whole the shit with Luke and all them motherfuckers popping the cooch and all that kind of shit, that was it was during the same time frame as me, right? Yeah, I saw it, right? But I'm just like, no, motherfucker, this is not what the fuck we do. This doesn't happen. Or it shouldn't happen. Right? So basically, this is all what the fuck Phylicia Rashad was saying. The women back then, you had to imagine that shit. You had to imagine, okay, she got a lovely face or whatever. And then by clothes, we could be like, okay, the body is there. But these motherfuckers today, these motherfuckers today, these motherfuckers today, but you know, they just like, they don't, they just like, they gonna let you have it. Everything tight. It's either gonna be too goddamn tight, right? Or they ain't gonna have next to nothing on. And then these young parents, it's almost like, well, shit, they don't know how to dress their child because they don't know how to dress. I mean, because I went in the grocery store and this man, he had his two boys with him. And he walked in the store like this. Shorts hanging all off his ass. And his boys like right behind him. Right? And it almost like, well, it's almost like, okay, you knew what the fuck they were thinking of, like, well, damn, do are we gonna have to dress like Dad when he get his age? Right? So a lot of you parents, you young parents, you so-called young parents, or at least I'm not saying all of y'all, because my boy up there in Texas, he already know what's happening because of what the fuck I instilled into him. Right? So, but it's not the case. Like I'm saying, if you actually really stop and think about it, we're the last of a dying breed. Once we die, once we all die off, which why the fuck should we care? We dead. But I'm just like, if this shit don't hurry up and turn around, right? Then I don't know. They might be calling us back to help clean up this shit. But I'm just gonna say, I'm not cleaning up a motherfucking thing. I raised my son right. Right? I just hope that he's doing to his children what I did to him. Right? So no, don't come calling the crazy uncle to do shit because you fucked up. Well, I ain't even gonna say that most parents fuck up. The child is gonna be put like this. The child is gonna be a sack of shit regardless of what you say or do. Now that don't mean go out there and be like, hey, look, I'm gonna give up. No, don't do that. Dig in your children's ass. Beat their ass. You know? Break them up like how we used to come up. I mean, because I get it. Technology is like a motherfucker right now. It ain't like how it was like when I was growing up, but for the most part, it still shouldn't change shit. It shouldn't change shit. Your child fuck up, beat their ass. And yes, the crazy uncle said, yeah, beat their ass. Because if you don't beat their ass, guess what? Guess who finna beat their ass? The goddamn police. And then you motherfuckers gonna get mad. Hey, the police beat my ass. And then I'll be like, okay, yeah, the police beat your ass, but what the fuck was you doing or not doing before I beat his ass? I can tell you, you weren't doing a goddamn thing. That's why I had to beat his ass. Me as the police officer, I had to beat your son's ass. Or put a bullet in his ass. Because you as the fucked up parent didn't do what the fuck you were supposed to do. Because 9 times out of 10, you probably ran the baby daddy off. But just know this, both of y'all need y'all ass whooped because 9 times out of 10, when you call yourselves fucking, you probably stop, as the older folk would say, you probably stop pissing on yourself real good, but you still stink because you don't know how to fucking wash. And then y'all have the audacity to drop drawers and call yourselves fucking. I got it. Fuck games as usual. But hey, look, that's neither here nor there. So if I got off subject, hey, look, I apologize. But it's just for the simple fact that I'm looking at what Phylicia Rashad said. If you got your ass out, yeah, you trying to make a motherfucker's dick hard. What the fuck for? Go at least get to know the motherfucker, right? Present yourself in a respectful, in a respectful way, where then a guy can actually really step to you and be like, "Hey, blah 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 blah, what's your name?" But the thing about it though is this: the men, they don't know no goddamn better neither, because the mama didn't teach him how to. The mama didn't teach the boy how to look for true qualities in a motherfucking female. All what the dad is supposed to do, say, hey, look, do what the fuck I tell you. Do what the fuck your mama tell you. Or I'm gonna beat your ass. Right? That's how that shit goes. So but just like I said, you almost you gotta you could so here's the $64,000 question. And I'm sorry for sounding like Elon Musk. Cause that's all what the fuck he do. I just did that, I just did that. All the fucking money in the world, and that motherfucker can't talk worth a damn. Okay, but in either case, the main reason why, and I know a lot of motherfuckers say it, but I'm telling you what, the main reason why that y'all so-called modern women running around here butt ass naked, you ain't Marty, you goddamn cave woman. But my whole deal is this. If your son ain't shit, it's because of your dumb ass. Because you went out there and you did one of these shits here. You did one of these shits here, right? And a little bitty motherfucker that ain't got shit going, he might be selling drugs or whatever, and got it, call himself got a little record deal, but hey, look, he ain't got shit, he ain't finna take you no goddamn where. But just because you is that ratchet bitch, you did this, right? Y'all fuck. Now you're a single mom on food stamps. Don't get no better than that, people. But hey, I gotta get out of here. So, with that being said, tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your dad, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa. Motherfucker next door, cross the street, round the corner, Paulus Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. I'm gonna holler at y'all.